Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mixtape Show. It is time for the Applied Knowledge Artist of the Week interview. This week's interview is brought to you by MJ's Hip Hop Connects and Applied Knowledge Apparel. If you guys are into some dope gear, man, check out Applied Knowledge on the social media. On their Instagram is Applied Knowledge _. Their motto is what you know with what you do. So this week, man, joining us, man, we got a dope artist. We've been playing his music here for the past couple weeks. He had that dope record with Sky Zoo and just released a new single that we're going to talk about. He goes by the name of Omen 44, man. What's good, sir? How are you?
Yes, sir. Doing good. Great, bro. Thanks for having me out.
Not a problem, man. Not a problem, man. So, man, I've been reading your bio, man, checking up on you. Like I said, we've been playing that joint that you had with Sky Zoo that's been banging here the past few weeks, and you just released a new single that we're gonna get into. But before we do that, man, let's talk about Omen 44, man. I know you kind of a transplant, you know what I'm saying, came to New York City area, the East Coast, from Japan, right?
Yes, sir. All the way from Japan. It's been like close to something like 20 years since I came here. Build it up little by little. You know, I was performing out here, doing some shows. You know, it was hard for us Asians to, you know, come into the scene and everything. So, you know, I needed to actually organize the events. You know, right now I actually promote some artists out to Japan and stuff too. So like, you know, it was hard for me to organize it, get on stage, do this, do that. You know, right now I have my own label out. But you know, all this brought me all the connections. Like, you know, for the first dude that I was introduced to was like Craig G, and like from there he introduced me to Large Pro. From there it spread it out. You know, I got connections with Smith and Wesson, Sadat X, and like like the people you see on my featurings and stuff too.
Yeah.
Scott Zoo and
Dope. So when you moved out here 20 years ago, was that strictly just to go after the music scene and go after the hip hop?
Yeah, definitely. Well, first when I came out, actually, you told me you were based in Dallas right now, but
I'm in Dallas right now. Yeah, I'm in Dallas now, but I was born and raised out in Queens.
Yes. I was actually the first city I came into was actually Austin.
Okay. Another dope music scene right now.
Yeah, it is with the South by Southwest and everything. You know, it's a dope city. And I came out there, you know, but like those Southern lights and like maybe West Coast too, but I don't know. It's kind of, you know, you can't really go to somewhere unless you have a whip of your own, and you know, it's kind of laid back in a sense, you know. And you know, my whole thing was like, you know, the first music video from hip hop that I actually saw when I was a kid was actually KRS-One and Tribe Called Quest back in the days. Like, you know, I just had that yearning for that mega hip hop that no Sam.
Yeah. So when you hit New York and you kind of felt that, because you know it's a feeling when you hit the city, man. It's that energy that comes out of the city and the coast. Is that what you felt once you got there? Like, wow, this is really this is what I needed right here.
You know, yes sir. I mean, you know, I still remember the first day I went to work even, because it was like, okay, I was living in Brooklyn at the time, close to Ocean Avenue.
Okay.
It wasn't a project, but it was those you know, like in New York, you know, most lost places are tall buildings and stuff, right? So like I was close to this I was living in this building, right? And the first day I went to work, I still remember this. When I was walking down the stairs, I actually saw a human dung, a human shit there. Yeah. And I was like, yo, it's New York. Like, you know, like, whoa. Is this what I get for, like, you know,
the
first day, you know?
He said, welcome to New York City, baby.
Baptized by that shit, you know, like, Yeah.
Yeah. So that's crazy, man, because it's wild because like you said, you came here to kind of pursue the hip hop and get close to it and just feel the energy of it. But here in the States, they try to go overseas a lot because they love the energy over there. So it's kind of like everybody's trying to switch places to, you know what I'm saying, to pursue the hip hop career, man. So that's definitely dope, man. That's definitely dope. So like KRS-One, obviously you said you grew up listening to them. Was you kind of like a 90s era kind of person when you was really following hip hop?
Yeah, when I came in, okay, like the first Japanese hip hop actually that I
Mm-hmm.
heard wasn't from a Japanese a CD from a Japanese artist. It wasn't from a CD from a Japanese artist. It was from actually De La Soul,
Mm,
Balloon State of Mind.
yeah.
They featured this rap group called Pop
Mm,
back in the days, and I was actually listening to De La Soul when I heard that Japanese rap the
mm,
first time, and I was like, "Yo, oh, there's Japanese folks doing this."
mm,
So yeah, it's kind of weird in a way. So if you think
yeah.
about it, you were telling me about switching up places and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah, it was De La Soul that I first heard my Japanese hip hop, and like from there, right now I have these drawings on the back. They're actually a Buddha brand from the 90s in Japan. These were like huge influences to me. I'm working with one of the guys right now. I just made a EP with them.
Mm,
We EP with one of the guys in the name of Nips, and
mm,
it just came out. I was able to bring these people out to New York, even. So like, you know, these people back in the days in the 90s, like 95 or something like that, it was totally New York. So like, these Buddha brands and stuff were the ones that was actually bringing the real New York stuff to Japan.
yeah.
And Japan was still trying to figure out what it was and like how the styles were flowing and all that.
Mm,
But like, yeah, these were like the pioneers to me.
nice, man.
Rest in peace, Devlaj. These are all my idols. And it's
Nice.
great that I'm connected with these folks and I'm able to, talk to them on a
Yeah.
daily basis.
So tell me about, like you were saying earlier, how when you came here, you kind of had to do everything, be a one man band, setting up shows, promoting, and all that kind of stuff. Um, that's you organically building these connections and networks where you didn't have the help and you didn't have people kind of put you on to people. How big of an advantage has that been for you now as a more established artist now throughout the years, for you to kind of build the bridge between here and back home, to as far as artists over there who may want to come over here and do shows or do music or features and stuff like that?
The thing is, I, I think I'm quite rare in a way. Um, not much people talk about coming from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really came from the bottom. Like I built it up from scratch, like
Mm-hmm.
with hooking up with the people, building with them, building the audience, building the events and stuff. But at the same time, those knowledge and information gave me like how should I put it? Like um it gave me so many skills. It gave me
Mm-hmm.
so many different skills in a way.
Mm-hmm.
With the communication, with the business method.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there was no blueprint for you to follow. It was literally just
yeah, that's true.
going out there doing your own thing, right?
So like there was an interview that was asking me if I can go back and tell myself
Mm-hmm.
the best advice,
Mm-hmm.
what would it be? And I replied, don't listen to nobody.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did, like
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just, following
Yeah.
my feelings, and it's strange when you work on it, it comes around in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And you, yeah,
And
you,
then, And I'm assuming when you came in, I mean, everybody wants to make money, make a living off of something. But I know just from kind of vibing with you so far, I can tell that this wasn't really just for me, from you saying, I want to come here because I'm going to be rich off of this. This is you really like, I love the culture of hip hop and I love the music and I want to create the music. So you put that energy out there, which kind of got to you to where you are right now.
Yes, yes. I just got a 5% name. It
Mm-hmm.
goes by Culture Freedom Allah.
Mm-hmm.
And I when I think about it, that's what I was. That's what I am.
Mm-hmm.
It's about my love to culture. It's about connecting people. You know, it's about me trying to tell the world there's dope artists in Japan. Even it's
Mm-hmm.
about maybe there's language barrier. Even with Japanese and Americans. And most Japanese can't speak English, and I was blessed to even speak in English.
Mm-hmm.
And foreign language even. But so so that's the thing, that's why I wanted to become the bridge of the culture.
Yeah.
That's why this new joint that I just dropped with Kaio Itachi and
Mm-hmm.
Fizzy Pizzy. These are French artists, but
Yeah.
French artists, these were like people that I wanted to deal with all
Mm-hmm.
my life. Like the first influences that I got from hip hop was like Jazz Mataz, the
Yeah.
gangster,
Mm-hmm.
Guru.
Guru. Mm-hmm.
There's a album called Jazz Mataz 2, and I think it was like the second song in it. He has a French artist rapping on it,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
like I was like, whoa, what is this? Like, but the way it introduced it was like I think even with De La Soul introducing Japanese hip hop there, it
Mm-hmm.
gave a different dynamic. It was like, yo, hip hop is going this big.
Yeah.
Hip hop is so international.
Yeah.
This, it's another language. It was so sophisticated. It
Yeah.
was, yeah. So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Wait,
No, I was gonna say that's dope, man. Because you lead me to the question I was gonna ask you anyway. I was gonna say with the new single, that's an example of you bridging the gap because you got the French. Because we played it here in the show last week is when I played it last week, and I had somebody text me while the song was playing. Was like, "Yo, is that dude speaking in French?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Yo, that's dope." You know what I'm saying? He was like, "I don't know what he's saying, but it's dope. It's like I like the fusion of it, man." And then, like you said, you kind of got a jazzy feel to it with the music too. So it's definitely a nice little mesh, you know what I'm saying, of joints that you got there with the artist, man. So the singles, is it part of a bigger project that you got, an EP or LP right now?
it's gonna be in an album called Hentai,
Okay.
which means pervert. But like, okay, like basically it means like I'm a hip hop fiend, but like even with that word hentai, like pervert, but like it reminds me of the word perverted monks in the house with J. Rue the Damager. Like I was like, yo, a monk that's perverted?
Yeah.
Like, there was so many questions at the beginning of hip hop, like there was back in the days, it wasn't the internet hip hop. So like you needed to go out to the record shop, dig the stuff, get all the information. You gotta meet the right people, just get all these right informations and everything. Yeah, but it was exciting, and I think it's still exciting too. But
Yeah.
nowadays kids are like oversaturated with information that I think it might be really hard for them to even pick the stuff. I don't know how they do it. It's kind of impressive in a way, though.
Yeah, man. Like me and you kind of come from that same school of when artists drop the album, you probably wouldn't hear from them for a good year and a half because they pushed that album so long, and they kind of take a year off after they release it to kind of get some life stuff going on so they can be ready to write the new music. But now, man, it's wild. Like you can see an artist come out with 3 EPs in a month.
That's true. That's very true. People are working hard now. So
yeah,
that's true.
dope, man. So far your journey, man. What's I know it's been ups and downs, man, but what's been the good things, man? What's some of the things that stick out to you so far in this 20-year run so far that you've been having?
I was able to get on Japan's national TV. I just finished that EP with my man Nips from Buddha Brand. I'm coming up with this hentai album. So far so good. And coming up with this EP with Kaio Itachi too. Hopefully by next year.
Okay.
And we're planning some stuff. We're planning some big stuff too.
Yeah. Has it been with COVID hitting like everybody else? Has it been have you been able to keep in touch back home and everybody's doing good and everything like that?
Yeah. Japan's much better than the US
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, they got their shit together.
Like New York hit it bad. Like
yeah.
People might not know this, but like in Vietnam there was like 0 casualties. Nobody died actually.
Oh wow!
Thinking about that, like it was quite hard. The way it hit in New York and even Italy and all that.
Yeah, it hit Dallas pretty bad too. But at least from what I've been seeing in the news, New York's trying to be a little proactive about it, but down here, everybody's so country nice. They're like, oh, if you want to go out, just be safe, kind of thing. There's really no rules in place. So I've been in the house. I'm like, I got kids, man. I can't trust being out with people who are not being responsible. You know what I mean? So dope, man. Dope. Well, I can tell you this much, man. Like I said, I've been kind of tapping into your catalog leading up to this interview, just listening stuff, and I'm impressed by the music, and I love your sound. You know what I'm saying? I love your sound. It's definitely what we rock with here on the show, man. So like I tell people all the time, this may be your first time me and you chopping it up, but it's definitely not going to be the last, man. And, I typically every summer and spring, I kind of do what I call the mixtape show tours, when I basically just kind of leave here and just kind of go out and get some interviews in the different cities, and I always come home to New York to visit. So I definitely, whenever things clear up and they say, well, we can travel again, man, I want to come out there, and I definitely want to hit you up. Definitely want to hit you up, and we can do this face to face next time, man, because I enjoy these conversations.
All right, thank you.
We can hit up a vinyl store or something like that, because I still collect the vinyl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in the crates. Right?
Yeah. I got the crates down here right behind me, man. I was just going through some joints today. But social media, man, what's the best way we can get a hold of you?
I'll be on Instagram. I have my label. I have my Facebook with the label name the Plug International. Mm-hmm. I have the Twitter account. It'll be best if you can reach me on Instagram or Twitter. Yes. Instagram
and Twitter, dope. And how did the Skyzoo collaboration happen? How'd you get that? That's one of my favorite MCs.
Yeah, he is. He's like dope. He's really dope. So since I came to New York, right, I was able to build up with some folks. Smith & Wesson was one of those people. And I even brought out a Smith & Wesson to Japan too. Mm-hmm. From there, Steele actually introduced me to Rusty Jugs. I was able to do a EP with him. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Rusty. And from there, I got to know the folks from Duck Down and all that. Mm-hmm. And even with my own label, the Plug International, I'm supporting some young artists like Chelsea Reject, Loaf Music, Was Fresco. These are the dope kids, though. Really dope.
Nice.
And, yes. And from those connections, I was able to hook up with Skyzoo. I brought him out to Japan, too. And we had some good time, And I was talking, when we were brainstorming and with all the live showcases he actually did in the front of my eyes, I was like, yo, why did I never have a verse from him? Like I was like, yo, this dude is good. Like,
yeah.
Like even with the word plays and everything, I definitely want listeners to, viewers to check out Skyzoo's one of his latest stuff with P-Rock he did. I forgot what the name of the song was. Mm-hmm. And even with the one he did with West Side Gun, that was dope. Though.
Yeah.
He has some dope tracks, but the way I feel about Skyzoo is he's underrated. He's
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
underrated. Like,
Yeah, he's one of the dudes that when I can listen to any one of his albums and I never hit stop or I never go to the next track. I just play it all the way through. You know what I'm saying? As far as his music, and like I said, when I heard that song that you did with him, and then I started listening to the rest of your catalog, I was like, okay, they in the same vein as far as, like I said, track selection, because you do a lot of jazzy type joints too, and that's kind of my lane as far as that music, because it mellows me out and it makes me listen to the words better. You know what I'm saying? It's not too much going on as far as the sound and all that, man. So congrats. I like the sound you made. I'm a fan of your music for sure now, man. And you got me tapped in, brother.
like even with Japanese hip hop and stuff, like rest in peace, Nujabes, like
Yeah.
even with there's another Japanese artist that's bombing in English.
Mm-hmm.
It goes by Shingo too.
Mm-hmm.
He did these stuff with this producer in the name of Nujabes, and they were like, it was totally jazz,
Mm-hmm.
and Japanese folks do like jazz hip hop, even with there's a label called Jazzy Sport.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Mr. Beat. It's nice, the feeling of those jazz hip hop is like it's so minimum, but it seems so yeah, like what you said, it's minimum, but like it doesn't have anything that you don't need. Like in a way,
Mm-hmm.
it's very strict. It's very yes,
Mm-hmm.
very 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 skill oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Very yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my partner, my business partner, he's an MC, and that's kind of his vein is smooth jazz. Is where he gets a lot of his creativity from with his music. And me and him talked about the other day, and we was like, when you listen to jazz and hip hop fused together, it's literally like the music is hypnotizing you, and that's what opens up your mind to the words. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah,
you said, it's stripped away, it's stripped down. It's so simple. It kind of lures you to it lullabies you a little bit, and then that's when you come in with the lyrics and it opens you up. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope, man. Like I said, everything's a science, man, and music is definitely one of them, and hip hop is big in the science, and I love just kind of breaking down music and breaking down people's how they do things. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely would love to do this again with you soon again, brother, and just sit back with you and just talk about hip hop and the art of music and everything, man.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
Definitely, man. So, I know you like you said, you got the project you're working on right now. You got a release date on that soon, or you still in the works on it?
Uh, it's gonna be out by hopefully by this year.
Okay.
I can't exactly tell when, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, I have one more single that's coming out that I did with Planet Asia
Mm.
and Tick Nature for Snow Goons. These
Mm.
folks are from Germany,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going international,
Yeah.
overboard, and um, I have this producer in the name of Gladys Nice that's doing the track, but
Mm-hmm.
he's like top three producers out there in Japan, right?
Okay.
Really cool.
Oh.
And and I have a Snow Goons remix too for that, and that's gonna be really dope. I'm gonna have that first, and then the album. So
Okay. Okay. Nice.
hopefully by November I can drop the last single, and by December hopefully I have the album out.
Dope, man. Dope, brother. I'm excited, man. Like I said, I'm excited to hear what you got going on and everything.
I appreciate
Don't be a stranger, man. I'm gonna follow you here on social media here in just a second. I'll hit you in the inbox just to remind you. And other than that, man, anybody you want to shout out before we get out of here?
Shout out to all the folks that got involved in my new project Hentai. Shout out to all the folks. Shout out to all the gods. Um, Shout out to New York. Shout out to Japan. The whole world. Worldwide. Eyes open wide.
There you go, man. There you go.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this real quick too. I was going to ask you this earlier. So, about what age was you when hip hop really like hit you? When you was like, oh, yeah, I want to be involved with this. Around what age was that you think?
It was in my team. It was definitely in my team.
Now, did that teenager think that he would be where he's at right now? When you look back at just your journey,
it's strange because like the first time like I said, like the first video I watched was KRS. I still remember to this day.
Mm-hmm.
It was KRS one with Love's Gonna Get You,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and Tribe Called Quest with Can I Kick It?
Yeah.
But the thing was, it was called, this TV program was called Sony Music TV, because Japan's not big into cable TVs and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So like that was the only source we could have got back in the days, really. And like I was actually watching the TV because of MC Hammer, though. I still remember that because with all that baggy pants and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was in my teen, and like first it was like dance. I came in with the dance and all that. Now, man, fuck. It's kind of strange in a way.
Yeah, because I'm just sitting back, just absorbing the information you're telling me about, who you're working with and who you've worked with and going on tour. And I couldn't imagine, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I just finished the Japan tour over there in Japan too. Luckily I was able to finish everything by February.
Yeah.
So, because the COVID really hit it.
Yeah.
It was hitting already back in February. Like I was able to do all the shows and finish it. But
yeah.
Yeah, like looking back at it, the people that I'm working with right now, it's even with the Japanese joint, I just dropped this video called "Watch Us King God Divan," which was which I'm rapping in Japanese, but these people that I have on the video as a featuring, they go by Gochi and CQ. These were my idols. So like, yeah, I think about it. Looking back at it and like, yeah. Strange.
I know. I do it all the time, man. Like I said, I'm just a kid who always loved hip hop and loved music, man, and got into the DJing because my uncle taught me. And then that me learning how to spin records and blend records has opened up so many doors, because then the radio show came, and then running a radio show, and it's kind of, being independent. And this is all just from hip hop. It's literally just from me loving music and loving hip hop. So I'll look back and listen, or I'll see who I've interviewed and talked to, and I'm just like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, I'm nobody. I'm just a kid who loved music, and it's amazing, man. This culture is amazing, man, and people like yourself who hold it dear to your heart and help preserve the culture, man. I'm proud to call you my brother in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because you're one of the people I respect. You know what I'm saying? Because you hold this dear to your heart like I do. And, it's good to know that there's still some people out there who not in it just for the money, and who there just to take the information or take whatever they can take from it and skate off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, some people are in it for money. If you can get that money, go ahead and just get that money, boom.
Yeah.
But if you want to last, if you want to get into it, if you want to become part of it, you have to understand, it's 1, 2, 3. It's knowledge, wisdom, understanding, like and from there, it's just your curiosity. You got to build your own curiosity from there, That's how I was able to get to know people. That's how I got to understand the culture, like even with, the first place I moved in when I was in New York was actually Brooklyn. The reason I moved into Brooklyn was, that song from Voyeurs, "We Live in Brooklyn, Baby." Yeah, that was my favorite joint. Like I was like, yo, I gotta live in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I just went to Brooklyn straight,
Yeah.
And like even with that I live in Brooklyn from Voyeurs, the reason I was informed with that information with that track was because of listening to Smith and Wesson, actually. Because they had The Shining album back in the days. And that jacket sampled Voyeurs, back in the days. So I was like, yo, this is the same jacket. Why? And like,
Yeah.
whoa. So that's how you digged into it. That's how you got all these knowledges, and that's how you become that's how you became a true lover to me.
Yeah. Definitely, man. Definitely, man. Well, I'm at 44, man. I definitely appreciate your time, my brother. And
Yes, sir.
and we got to do this again, man. We got to chop this up
Yeah.
again. Like I said, next time I'm gonna come up there and I'm gonna visit you, man. And we'll just do that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We gotta do that.
All right, man. Well, I
Yes,
definitely appreciate you, man. How about this, man? How about you throw it to this joint, this new joint, man, this dum dum joint? Tell the listeners the
okay.
name of it, and we'll get into that.
All right. Yo, this woman 44. I want y'all to check this out. The song is called Dum Dum featuring Fizzy Pizzy. The track is produced by Kayo Itachi. I go by woman 44. Peace. Love.
All right, we'll be right back.